Hey guys, how's it going? It's Raab, and in this video, I'm going to go over the pros and cons of being an economics major. So, I am a third-year economics major at UCLA, so go Bruins, and in this video, I'm going to go over 4 pros and 4 cons that I see of being an economics major. So, I'll start with the pros, and then I'll move over to the cons, and by the end, hopefully you have a pretty good understanding of, what's the good and what's the bad of being an economics major. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. And if you're new here, my name is Raab. I make videos all about personal finance and economics, so if you're interested in anything like that, I would love it if you would subscribe. The first pro that I see with an economics major is the variety of jobs. So this is pretty neat. With an economics major, there's so much that you can do because you learn skills that are needed in every field. Really every field, every business has some variation of an economist. You can go in the finance realm, you can go in the data science realm, and there's just so much more you can do. You can go into the financial field, you can go into the medical field, the investment field, and even different athletic fields and different things like that. So there's so much you can do here, and that's something that's really cool. I see a lot of my friends getting jobs that are so different from one another, and I think that's something that's pretty unique to economics and even business as a whole. So that's something that's really cool about econ. The second pro that I see is that it is a pretty high paying major. So I made a video about the highest paying college majors. I went over the STEM ones and the non-STEM ones, and econ was the highest paying non-STEM major. And that's just something that is kind of nice about it. It is a big perk. I'm someone who is very interested in economics, and it is nice to know that at the end I am going to get a pretty high paying job. And I think that's something that is quite nice about economics. Although I wouldn't do economics solely because of the salary. It's more of kind of the icing on top, and it is a pro that comes along with this major. The third pro that I see, and this one may be a little controversial, I'm not too sure, but it is the job opportunities compared to a business major. So oftentimes when you're looking at an economics major, it's oftentimes compared to a business major. You're like, which one should I do? And oftentimes people think they're kind of the same, even though they're pretty different. You can actually see a video I made about the differences between an econ and a business major. But as far as the job prospects for an econ major, I find that they're a little bit wider and there's a little bit more opportunities than a business major. And that's because I think of it as an econ major, I can do everything a business major can do. However, a business major can't necessarily do everything that an econ major can do. And the reason for that is because an econ major goes a lot farther in math. So an econ major goes way farther into calculus, oftentimes into multivariable calculus, which opens up the door to different data science positions that wouldn't be open to business majors, because the majority of business majors only really take business calculus, which generally doesn't go that much further than Calc 1. But that being said, most of the job prospects will be quite similar, and this could just be my kind of econ bias or something like that showing through. So I do have to kind of let that disclaimer out there, and there will be people that will probably disagree with that. But from my personal perspective and from what I've seen, there's more of a variety of jobs with an econ major compared to a business major. Now, I made a whole video on the differences between the two, and there are some perks that business majors have over us, but this is something that I see as being a pro in the econ category. Pro number 4 is that it's great prep for an MBA. So there's a lot of econ majors that want to go get their MBA afterwards. I am actually one of them. I plan on going to get my MBA maybe right after I graduate, although I may work for a few years. That is like my current debate that's going on right now that I'm deciding between. But it is great prep for an MBA. A lot of the courses that you take as an econ major will do a really good job in flowing into an MBA, and you learn a lot of math and a lot of theory that will be very helpful as you go into an MBA program. So that's something that I'm looking forward to, and it's just another pro that comes along with being an econ major. So those are 4 great pros that come along with being an econ major, but an econ major is not perfect. There are cons that come along with it. So I now want to go over 4 cons that come along, at least from my perspective, that I see with a business major. So I'll start off with the first con, that it doesn't really prepare you that well for the business world or kind of the professional world at large. And the reason for that is because I'm not taking a lot of of classes that are very applicable to the business world. So, for instance, a business major will take a lot of finance courses, a lot of marketing courses, a lot of managing courses that will really prepare them. They will look at different case studies and different things like that that will very much so prepare them for the job market, and they'll be able to get off and running right away. Whereas an econ major doesn't necessarily get all that. We spend a lot of time with econ theory, and we spend time with a lot of math and just doing a lot of things that aren't necessarily that applicable. So I know things at a very deep level, but there will be a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to jumping into kind of the business world. And I think that's something where econ does fall a little short than business, because we're not doing everything we do is not that applicable oftentimes. Con number 2 is that if you want to become an economist and really work as an economist at different companies, you will need a graduate degree. So this is something where a business major may want to do something, and if they want to go into business or really anything within it, they can do it right after they get their bachelor's degree. Whereas with econ, if you want to become an economist, you do have to go and get your graduate degree oftentimes, whether that be a master's degree in economics or something along those lines. And I understand this, because if you do want to become an economist, there is a lot more that you got to learn, and you get that in a master's degree, but you just don't get it in a bachelor's degree. So I understand it, but it is a con. If you want to become an economist, it does require a bit more school, and it will also cost you quite a bit of money, most likely. And then one more thing I wanted to add is that not all economics majors want to be economists in the end. I'm not probably going to go get my master's degree in economics. I'll likely go get my MBA, but don't think that everyone has to go and get a master's in economics degree if they want to use their economics bachelor's. No, your economics bachelor does have merit, and you can get great jobs with it. So I do want to add that caveat right there. The third con, and talking to my fellow economics students, this is probably the biggest one that I hear oftentimes, or the biggest complaint, and that is you won't use a lot of what you learn. Now, part of this just comes with what we signed up for. We expected this, but I do hear this complaint still quite a bit, and I find it frustrating as well oftentimes. And the reason for this is we will dive so deep into things, such as like the supply and demand curve, whereas business majors just learn it and learn how you can apply it to the business world. Economics majors dive deep into that, and we learn about the complex, even just multivariable calculus that goes behind supply and demand, and things like the Lagrangian multiplier and different things like that that form those graphs. And oftentimes when you're deep in the math, when you're deep in the theory, in the back of your head, you're never going to use this. In the business world, no one's going to be asking you these complex questions this deep. You'll have to know it surface level, which the business majors are fine, but not that deep. Now, this is just part of what we signed up for. I wanted to learn this at a very high level, but it does get frustrating sometimes when I'm in all these really, really complex courses, and I know that I'm never really going to use any of this information. It's great to know I'm passionate about it, but I'm not going to use most of it. And I think that is a source of frustration for a lot of econ majors, and I do wish there was a little bit more applicable courses that we could take, just a few more choices that I had that business majors had. But as an economics major, you do sign up for it, but you will find yourself in quite a few classes that are quite hard, quite difficult, and you will say, I will probably never use this ever again after this final exam. Con number 4 is you don't get to what you like until the end. So this is something that may be specific to UCLA. I can't exactly speak on other economics programs. I have very limited knowledge, at least. All I know is my fellow econ friends that are at other schools. That's all I have as a source of information. But kind of the general consensus of what you see as an economics major is you spend like 3 years doing things that you're not necessarily passionate about, and all you get is that 1/4 year where you really get to do cool business stuff. And the reason for that is because in order to become an economics major, you have to take a lot of math. So you are doing a lot of math, you're doing a lot of economic theory, you're doing a lot of statistics, and you can't quite take those cool classes. I signed up for econ in part because of the business side of it, and I don't really get to take those until end of my 3rd year into my 4th year when I'm really in the major, and I get to take those fun courses that I'm actually interested in. You know, I've spent so much time doing math, doing economic theory, that I haven't quite gotten to that yet. So that is kind of a little bit of a source of frustration in that I've spent so much time, you know, I feel like majority of my college career has been spent just getting ready to take these courses that I'll only have 1 year for. Whereas business majors, kind of all 4 years, you're taking something surrounding business. I even remember freshman year, there were a lot of people taking already business courses. When I was at Gonzaga, where I used to be, I transferred to UCLA, and they were taking business courses. Whereas with econ, you're taking a lot of econ, a lot of math, and not quite what you like until the very end. However, I do like that process. I do like math. So again, with every con, I feel like I keep saying it's a con, but it's what I signed up for. So I can't complain about it too much because I expected it and it's kind of what I wanted. I wanted to learn things at a deep level. I wanted this math and different things like that, and that's exactly what I got. So although it's a con, it is also kind of a pro in that I knew what I was getting into and I did choose that. All right, so that will wrap it up. Those are 4 pros and 4 cons that I see with an economics major. Now, there are a lot more, and I know that because I am friends with a ton of economics majors who have a lot of great things to say, and they also will complain about a lot more things as well. So I kind of want to turn it to you. If you are an economics major, or maybe you have thoughts about an economics major, let me know in the comments below whether or not I missed a few important pros, a few important cons. I imagine there's a lot of economics majors or people that are thinking about it watching this video, so just let me know down there. I do, even if I mention those cons, I do love economics and I'm very passionate about it and I do enjoy talking about it. So if you guys have any questions about being an economics major, I can also answer that in the comments below, but that will wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, my name is Raab, and here I make videos all about personal finance and economics and everything else like that. So if you're interested in that at all, I would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button, hit that little like button, and if you guys like these videos, just let me know in the comments below, like the video, and I'll make a lot more like this because I make videos that you guys want to see and I want to know what you guys want to see. So that will wrap it up. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and if you're an econ major, good to see you there. I am as well. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. I realize I just said that for the 2nd time in a row, but I will end this video. And as always, my name is Raab, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. So I'm going to move to the corner of your screen here. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, you are going to see my most recent video. And if you look in the lower left-hand corner, you're going to see a video that YouTube and I each think that you would like. And if you haven't yet, you can hit my face right here and subscribe. As always, my name is Raab, and I'll see you soon.